I often talk about the importance of knowing what you want, and yet many people struggle because they say, I don't know what I want. I don't even know where to begin. So I'm creating this video for you if you are somebody who struggles in that way, because knowing what you want is really, really important. Now, I'm going to share with you how you can discover what you want, even if you think that you can't. Before I get to that, I just want to briefly touch upon the importance of knowing what you want, because otherwise a lot of people just go on to the next YouTube video or whatever else they're going to do instead of taking the time to get clear on what they want. You see, if you don't know what you want, then you can't expect to receive it. And if you don't receive what you want, then you can expect that you'll just keep on seeking and being unfulfilled and unhappy. So knowing what you want is the first most important step in the process of fulfillment in life. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that all fulfillment is material fulfillment. Many times the things that we want are not material in nature. We can have spiritual desires. So knowing what you want does not only apply to having the six-pack abs and the $1 million and the Ferrari and all of that other stuff. Oftentimes what you want is something different. However, in all cases, you have to be willing to actually get clear on what you want, because that's the first step. So now I'd like to share with you how you can get clear on what you want, even if you think that it's impossible for you. I should warn you, like so many things that actually work, this is deceptively simple. It's kind of dull, in fact, and therefore most people will not do it. And if you don't do it, you cannot expect to get the results. So maybe you could just choose to do it, even if there's a part of you that says, this is stupid and it won't work for me. Because if you do, you'll be pleasantly surprised. So here we go. Get yourself a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil or some kind of writing instrument. That's the old-fashioned way. Now, if you really are insistent upon it, you can use your phone or tablet or device. You could even speak to ChatGPT and have it take dictation. But make a list of the things that pain you. Make a list of the things that you do not want. Now, for most people, this will be pretty easy. You'll start to get the juices flowing pretty easily because most of us are pretty familiar with what we don't want. So most people will have no trouble with this. A few people will struggle even with this because they'll say, well, there's nothing that I don't want. There's nothing that pains me, because they have learned that it's unspiritual or it's spiritually incorrect to complain or to think in negative ways or that kind of thing. Well, that's all fine and good, but the problem is that it creates what I call spiritual constipation or energetic constipation, because if you refuse to acknowledge the things that you're actually experiencing pain over, then you can't actually get clarity about what you do want. So be willing. Be willing to just make a list of the things that pain you, the things that you don't want. Now, if you need to pause the video in order to do that, then please do so, and then resume the video when you've made that list. Now, I assume that you've actually made the list. If you haven't made the list, then pause the video and make the list, because if you want the results, you have to be willing to actually take the steps. It's really true. It's not going to just happen for you. You have to be willing to apply yourself. Now, this is not hard work. It's not going to hurt you. It will actually be quite pleasant, you'll find, because it's going to start to make changes in your experience. But you have to take those steps. So make that list of the things that you don't want, the things that pain you. And nothing is too big and nothing is too small. Just get it all there on the list. Just put it all down. All the things. All the things. Make the list. Now, once you've made that list, then here's what you're going to do. I want you to remember this magical phrase. And the phrase is this: what do I want instead? What do I want instead? Say it with me. What do I want instead? Again, deceptively simple, incredibly powerful. This will change your life. You have to apply it. So I suggest that you apply this to each of the items on your list, because you have a list of the things you do not want. Now, there is a law that governs creation, and that law is the law of attention. Whatever you put your attention on, that is where your energy goes. So you get more of that in your experience. Now, for most people, most of the time, their energy is going to what they don't want. That's where their attention goes. That's where their energy goes. And this is true even if you try to suppress and reject and deny the things that you don't want. Even if you try to affirm them away, they still remain, and that's where your attention is going. So you can expect to get more of those things unless or until you get clarity about what you want instead. So this key phrase, what do I want instead, is so important. This really can change your life. You just have to be willing to apply it. So go through your list, and for each of the items, determine, what do I want instead? Now, there's an important point here, which is that oftentimes people will answer that question in a way that's not really what they want. It's still what they don't want. And I'll give you an example. So let's say that one of the line items is about debt. I don't want debt. Let's say that a person has $100,000 in debt, and they say, it hurts me. I don't want $100,000 in debt. And then they ask themselves, what do I want instead? And they say, I want to be free of debt. Sounds nice, but notice that the focus is still on what you don't want, debt, right? If you want to be free of debt, then the focus is still on debt. So being free of debt is not what you want. That's still what you don't want, even though it sounds like something that you want. So what is it that you want instead? This is really, really important. If you want to have success with this, you need to be clear on this point. What is it that you want has to be independent of what you don't want. So freedom from debt is dependent upon debt. So what do you want instead would be something like, I want financial freedom. I want financial independence. I want $1 million. I want financial abundance. I want peace of mind in regard to my abundant finances, something along those lines, not freedom from debt. Okay, so be really clear about that. So you don't want freedom from pain. You don't want freedom from loss. You don't want freedom from all of the things that you don't want. You want something else instead. So be clear about that. Take the time that it takes in order to answer that question for each of the items on your list. And remember, the answer to what you want should be independent of what you don't want. It should be something that is independent and also a thing in and of itself, and that is positively valued in and of itself. Okay? Now, once you have done that for each of those items, you now know what you want. Congratulations. you can enhance this further by taking some more steps, which I'll outline for you now. But even if you do just that much, you're going to be well on your way because most people never take the time to do that much. So you have put yourself into a different category of human than the majority just by taking these simple steps that you've now taken. I hope you've taken them. So if you wanted to take this further, what you could do is you could put them in order of priority. What's most important to you? Because they're not all equally important. Now, sometimes people resist this because they say, well, I want all of them. I need all of them. Maybe and maybe not. But regardless of that, there's one thing that's definitely true, which is that in this life, there is inherent limitation. Now, people don't like this, but it's true because everything in this life is characterized by what it is not. You see, you are not everybody else, and everybody else is not you. Here is not there, and there is not here. Up is not down, and down is not up. Everything is defined by what it is not. There are inherent limitations in this life. Now, it's maybe possible to have everything given enough time. However, you cannot have all of it right now. And again, I know people balk at that. They don't like that. It makes them uncomfortable because then if it's true that you can't have everything right now, then you actually have to be willing to prioritize. Most people won't, and so most people will get very little of what they want. Because if you really want to supercharge, to use a stupid phrase, but if you want to supercharge your your efforts and thereby your results so that you can get more of what you want more efficiently, more quickly, then you need to prioritize. Because you can focus on one thing and achieve that, and then shift your focus to the next thing and achieve that, and shift your focus to the next thing and achieve that. And in that way, in a serial fashion, you can achieve many, 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 many things. But most people make the mistake of trying to accomplish all of it right now, and therefore they get nothing. So if you want to really get the results, then I highly encourage you to put them in order of priority because they're not all equally important. So put them in order of priority. And then I recommend that you focus only on the top one, two, or maybe three things on your list until you have accomplished them. And then you can shift your focus to other things on your list. But if you try to focus on all of them at the same time, you will not get the results. So limit your focus to only one, two, or maybe possibly three maximum at a time until you have accomplished them. So one more thing, totally optional, but can be enormously valuable that I'm going to share with you here. I'm giving you real gold in this video, so I hope that you're actually following through on this because this will really, everything that I'm sharing with you here can really radically change the kinds of results and experiences that you're having. So this final and optional step that I'm sharing with you in this video is that you can, if you wish, determine what are the values that you want to fulfill through the achievement of those items on your list that you want. Now, I recommend that you only do this for the one, two, or three items that you're focusing on presently. So you will only do this once you've completed the previous steps. Once you've determined what are the one, two, or three items on your list that you're going to choose to focus on now, You can, for each one of them, you can ask yourself this question. When I have that, what will that give me? When I have that, what will that give me? So let's say that the item on the list is $1 million. So you want $1 million, and you ask yourself this question, when I have $1 million, what will that give me? And just answer that however is truthful for you. When I have $1 million, then I'll feel secure. When I have $1 million, then I'll buy the house that I want. When I have $1 million, then I will give to charity. When I have $1 million, whatever it is, whatever it will give you. And it doesn't have to be limited to one thing. It's just let it flow. Whatever it is that you believe that will give you, make a note of that. And for each of the things that you perceive that will give you, you're going to ask yourself this question. Same question, actually. When I have that, what will it give me? So if my answer to the question, what will $1 million give me, is that it will give me the new Ferrari, then I say, when I have the new Ferrari, what will that give me? And I'm going to list out each of the things that I think that will give me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many things I think it's going to give me. Well, then it will give me social status, and it will give me a feeling of excitement as I'm driving it. It will give me a very large insurance bill, whatever it's going to give you that you want. So you probably don't want the large insurance bill, but that was a joke. My jokes aren't that good. For each of those items, you're going to ask yourself, same question, what will that give me? So you're going to continue in this way until you arrive at the high level values that you really want to fulfill through this desire, through the fulfillment, through the achievement of this desire. So those high level values are things that you want that really don't conflict with one another for the most part. So they tend to be things like peace, joy, love, harmony, abundance, things of that nature. So you keep asking yourself this question, what will that give me? What will that give me? What will that give me? And it's going to give you, it's going to kind of branch out. You're going to have a lot of things. For each of those, you're going to arrive at some of these high level values. And usually for any particular desire, there's going to be between 3 and 5, give or take, high level values that you're actually wanting to fulfill through that. So now you know what are the values that you want to fulfill through the achievement of that goal. Make note of those. Add them to the item. So if you say, if the desire is to have $1 million, then you can say, add to that in alignment with my values of, and then list out whatever the values are that you've discerned. So now you have, once you've gone through all these steps, you know what are the top 3, 1, 2, or 3 desires that you want to actually focus on. And you know what are the values that you want to fulfill through the achievement of those goals. Write them down. Read them every day. Make a ritual of it. Do it every day, at least once. If you want to do it more, feel free to do so, but at least once a day. And when you do this, you begin something very powerful in your life. If you do just this much, you will see positive results in your life. I cannot absolutely guarantee that you will fulfill each of those goals in the next month or 6 months or a year. But I can promise you that very positive things will begin to take place in your life just from doing this. So there you have it. That's all I wanted to share with you in this video. I'll just wrap up by mentioning to you that if you have not yet downloaded the free ebook that I share on my website that covers 5 of the fundamental laws of creation, then I encourage you to do so. You can get that at joeylott.com. You'll see that there's an option there to sign up to receive that free ebook. So make sure to do that. I'll provide the link in the description below. Also, for those who are interested in these kinds of topics and you want to take this to the next level in your life, then you may be interested in the Manifesting Truth program that I offer. It is a paid program. It includes 9 weeks of group coaching with me to support you in the application of the 9 core lessons that will help you to take your life to the next level. So you might want to check that out. And that is at joeylott.com/manifesting-truth. And I'll provide the link in the description below. So blessings to you. Bye for now. Take care. And I will see you soon.